I had a really good time today.
Yeah, me too. I really like.
What are you doing?
She's coming with us.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in charge, we're rounding up illegals.
She was born here. She's a citizen.
I don't care. She looks like one of them. But don't worry. When she's in prison in El Salvador, she'll have lots of company.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise. I got a couple clips to share with you. Nice compilation video. This here, it's a mess. It really is. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get into it.
Why are we not doing this? Why? And I'll give you one example to why we're not. Because our government is inundated with traitors. And we are also inundated with people that are illegal aliens inside of our government. And I'll give you a perfect example. I wrote about this in a book. I've talked about this. I went and testified in Congress, which I'll never do again because it's a complete waste of my time. They're never going to. It was on child trafficking, and I was an expert witness. I gave my testimony, and then I'm opened myself up to questions. And a congresswoman by the name of Delia Ramirez from Illinois sits in front. She's on a dais. They have them sit up there, and you can't talk. You have to hit a button to talk, and if it's not green, you can't talk. And they get 5 minutes. She spent 4 minutes of her 5 minutes just slandering me. I'm a white nationalist. I'm a bigot, xenophobe, racist, blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't be there because I don't have any expertise on the border and child trafficking. And then I'm sitting there and I can't talk. She pulls up an X post. It's not my X post, but she makes it as this my X post with a noose in it. You know, making the noose connection between a white man and a noose. He's a racist and wants to kill people that are not white. Then she gets very emotional. And I get very interested because I did this for a living. I'm sitting there watching someone get very emotional, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's listen carefully what she's going to say, because she's going to start to make mistakes. Because when people get emotional, they say their words come out faster than their brain is able to stop it. Like, okay, I should not, I want to go there, but I can't go there. She doesn't. She goes there. And what does she say? She begins to talk about women being, and she says, I don't ever want to have to discuss this horrible thing again because my mother was on the border crossing from Guatemala into America when she was pregnant with me. The sitting Congressman Ramirez just admitted that she's an illegal alien. Her mother came into America illegally and had a baby. You can talk to me about birthright citizenship all you want. That's a lie. She's an illegal alien. And I'm looking at the dais. I'm looking at all the pasty white guys and the Republicans that are morons. Morons. They have no idea. What are they doing there? They don't even know what the hell they're talking. They don't even know what questions to ask. Then I'm looking at the Democrats, and I'm looking back and forth going, is anyone going to say it out loud? Is anyone going to say that we have Miss Ramirez is an illegal alien from Guatemala? We have illegal aliens in Guatemala, from Guatemala, chastising a patriotic Border Patrol veteran that's telling you about child trafficking, and I'm being lectured by a illegal alien. I'm living in the Twilight Zone. I do research for my book because I talk about a whole chapter on me doing the congressional testimony. Delia Ramirez is married to an illegal alien. She's married to a criminal. Her family members the majority are all illegal aliens. I did a cursory search through DHS. I can't find her that she's a naturalized citizen. She never naturalized. Thus, she's an illegal alien. This is happening throughout our government.
Whoa. I bet you guys didn't know that. I bet you guys didn't know it. Now, I'm one of those kind of people at this point, man. I don't think anybody, if you are a naturalized citizen, I don't think you should be allowed to sit in Congress. Obviously, you can't be a president, but I don't think you should be able to play any role in our government if you are not a citizen born and raised here in the United States of America. At minimum, born. I just don't think that is the case. We got too many people that are advocating for other people outside the nation that are in positions of power within our government that has allegiances to other nations. No, this can't be the case. Something needs to shake with this. Something has to change. Now, this is the young lady that he was talking about. This lady right here, who says that illegal immigrants are her constituents. Listen to this foolishness.
Have here. Look, I serve in not just in Homeland Security, which is the committee of jurisdiction over these facilities here, but I'm also in the oversight subcommittee of it. And the idea that it is difficult to be able to get a response from the folks in ICE directors here. We just went and attempted to talk to someone. He was unwilling to identify himself. It's really frightening for us, especially because we know that we have constituents that are being held here, and we have no way of knowing the conditions of our constituents, or even...
There's that word, constituents. Illegal immigrants are her constituents. You can't make this stuff up, man.
To know who we're talking to here. Do you have a name of the person that's responsible and in charge here?
That I do not have.
This is really concerning. I'm going to tell you, we've been asking a number of questions. We have sent letters to you. The only thing that the gentleman could say was send an email. There is no response to our emails. There's no response to our letters. We've been here for over an hour, and there are people here waiting for their appointment that I don't know if they're going to say that they missed their appointment because they were not let in because they're unwilling to come out here. What assurances do we have that the people that are here are not going to be retaliated against because no one is willing to come to the door?
Yes, Congresswoman, I hear the concerns. We are attempting to get in touch with contact with some agents on the ground as soon as possible. I understand.
Now, again, I don't know who she's talking to, on the other line there, but I want to share this other video because this is kind of the follow-up to it. So she makes a call, about not being able to get into the facility. But I want to show you guys the video of them standing at, another facility and, trying to, exert their power, against, really someone that's just a foot soldier. And I don't say that to denigrate. This is just a person following orders. You know how that goes. If you guys wore the uniform when you're a service member, sometimes you don't have the answers. You're just following orders, right? Check this video out.
Not a field director here. We seek to meet with the supervisor of this facility per our congressional authority.
So, this is a processing center.
Yes, we're aware of that.
And this does not fall under the category of a conventional detention facility. So,
this is a federal facility, and by law, we have the authority to make a visit. This is Congressman Davis, whose district this facility is located in, sir.
I understand. Let me complete
Yes, sir.
answering to your question, right? So for all congressional visits, we have been instructed to inform you that you are to submit a request to Congress, to ICE, at Congress to ICE at ice.dhs.gov.
There is no regulation that requires us to give prior announcement or to schedule an appointment. We are here by our authority, and we see...
Hey, the man's just following orders. He just following orders. He didn't make the rules. He's been instructed. He's just following the orders.
A meeting and an inspection of this facility.
I respect your request, but these are the instructions that we have.
So you are declining our request, the request of 4 members of Congress, sir?
I am not.
May I have your name, sir?
I am not declining.
May I have your name, sir?
Listen to me. Hold on. I'm answering your question, sir. I am not declining. Rather, these are the instructions that are given by our agency. So, if you would like to request a visit, please.
We are here to visit.
Okay, I'm giving you the...
Nothing requires us to request. We looked in all the regulations around the operation of these facilities, sir. So I respectfully dispute what you are telling me.
I'm sorry then, sir.
Sir, Sir, I serve in Homeland Security, so, sir, you are denying members of Congress entry, the authority that we have, and that we fund these facilities. I want to make sure that that's on record.
Okay, so that's Congressman Ramirez right there. That's the lady that was speaking prior to again. And the dude that was before that clip was talking about her being an illegal immigrant, married to an illegal immigrant, and has plenty of family members in this country that are illegal immigrants. So, of course, she's in Congress to advocate for people that are not U.S. citizens. Now, as per the rule, members of Congress can attempt unannounced visits to federal facilities, particularly as a part of their oversight role. While not illegal, agencies may resist or delay entry, citing protocol. In most cases, lawmakers push through or use denial, or use the moment as a political moment, which is what you just saw right here. But let's hear from Tom Homan on this entire situation here.
Well, there's a right way and wrong way to hire workers. There are legal programs that bring farm workers in. Second of all, I've been saying for years, Congress needs to address this. But because Congress failed to address it doesn't mean we ignore it. I mean, it's illegal to knowingly hire an illegal alien. But like I just talked about a few minutes ago, worksite enforcement operations, just like at-large operations, we're going to base them on priority, right? For those, we have a criminal nexus of trafficking, of forced labor, of tax fraud or tax evasion. I mean, we will concentrate on work sites on a prioritized basis, just like we do at large operations. So anything, let's just go farm, look for illegal aliens. We'll prioritize those who have a criminal nexus first.
And just one quick follow-up. On Thursday, ICE told agents to hold off on investigations of farms and hotels, absent some other sort of criminality. Was this ICE acting on their own, and what is the
ICE was not. Look, ICE is enforcing laws enacted by Congress. Worksite enforcement operations is an important part of the work we do. Again, where do we find most victims of trafficking? Worksite. Joe Biden stopped worksite. They said they cared about trafficking and forced labor trafficking. Then they stopped worksite enforcement. That was a dumb move.
So what was that email from Tatum King?
It's a matter of messaging, proper messaging. The message is clear now that we're going to continue doing worksite enforcement operations, even on farms and hotels, but based on a prioritized basis. Criminals come first.
Yeah, so shout out to Tom Homan and those guys doing their jobs. I covered an article earlier this morning during the live show that discussed, when they do these raids and they, clear out these illegal immigrants, there was a mass amount of American citizens applying to the positions that those people held. I mean, it was a phenomenal story and a phenomenal sight to see, because these are the same people, not Tom Homan, but you have a lot of these daggone politicians out there, especially those on the left, the Jasmine Crockett's of the world, will tell you that American citizens aren't interested in working in these types of facilities, and it's the furthest thing from the truth. But it's even worse, because Democrats are doubling down. I want you to hear from Chuck Schumer, and then we're going to hear what else is going on up in New York from Kathy Hochul. It's ridiculous, man.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
Man, these people just get up there and just lie. There's a shortage of workers. We got a lot of people unemployed right now. Shortage of workers, huh? Okay. And look at that. They want a full-fledged path to citizenship for all of the people that they allowed into this country over the previous 4 years, and they are out of their rabid minds. Seriously. That's their game plan. Their game plan is to give these people amnesty, because that's their new voter block. These people are ridiculous, but I want you guys to hear this. All right, y'all, let's talk about something I didn't realize I was doing wrong for years, which is sleep. I used to be the guy lying in bed for hours, mind racing, thinking about work, thinking about the news, thinking about the craziness that's going on in the world, my to-do list. Eventually, I'd fall asleep only to wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and not be able to fall back asleep. And that all changed when I started using Dream by Bing. Every night, I mix 1 scoop into hot water. It's like a hot chocolate, but actually helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. And it's become part of my nightly routine. I drink it, read a few pages in my book, and I can literally feel my body starting to unwind. No No more tossing, no more turning. I fall asleep faster, I stay asleep, and I wake up clear-headed, not foggy, sluggish, just rested. And over time, I've noticed real changes. I'm more focused during the day. My patience is better, and I don't hit that 3 p.m. wall like I used to. Plus, Dream is 0 added sugar, all natural, vegan, and gluten-free. It supports all 4 stages of sleep, not just helping knock you out, but helping your body actually recover. If sleep's been a struggle for you, whether it's falling asleep, staying asleep, or just waking up feeling like a zombie, this is worth a shot. Use code ARP for 35% off and give your body the rest it actually needs. Now let's get back into the video. I want you guys to hear this because this right here is just sad. It's ridiculous, but it's also sad.
So you want to see some bullshit? New York's governor, Kathy Hochul, she said, you know what? We're going to give $50 million to illegal aliens so they could use for lawyers, lawyer fees. Forget about the citizens of New York. Forget about the homeless. Forget about the vets. Forget about the roads and bridges that are crumbling. Forget about that. $50 million for illegal aliens. It's always New Yorkers last. It's always Americans last when it comes to illegal aliens.
That are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation.
I don't want to hear about $45 alleged million on a military parade. I don't want to hear nothing. You just seen Governor Kathy Hochul, New York State Governor, give New York City, New York State taxpayer dollars to illegal aliens for a defense fund. She gave them $50 million. I don't want to hear about no Trump spending money.
So let me get this straight. 50 mil. 50 mil. 50 mil. $50 million? And who you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton? In legal fees for illegal aliens. Now, New York Governor Kathy, let me explain something to you, Toots. You have homelessness. You have food deserts. Because, you know, the blue people, you know, we can't even get food. We can't even get adequate food. So, you can't get adequate food. Can't get adequate housing. You can't get adequate health care. Crime is just rampant all through the streets, on the subways. There are people sleeping on the streets. The drug problems. But yes, we are going to bypass all of that. Why? Because illegal people need legal help. Y'all not tired. Y'all are not tired. And until you guys get tired and fed up and say, I'm not doing this anymore, that's when real change is going to happen. Until then, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to continue to be this cycle.
She's absolutely right. And everybody prior to, I just wanted to let those people play because I would assume that these are New Yorkers. Some of them are. At least two out of three were New Yorkers. And they're absolutely right. 50 million. With the amount of problems that they have up in New York right now, she went down the list. And so did the brother in that first clip that's kind of kicked this thing off. They went down the list of the issues that are happening in this country right now, or in New York City for that matter. Crime running rampant. City streets need repair. Bridges, tunnels need repair. They got massive homeless that could use the help. Veterans that could use the help. Their own citizens that could use that $50 million. But yet they pulled $50 million to basically give to their rich lawyer friends, you know what I'm saying, to help illegal immigrants. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. On a day-to-day basis, Democrats tell you exactly who they are and who their allegiance is with. They tell you all the time, man. Folks need to start believing them, man. People need to start believing them. I'm a firm believer, man. You know, hey, You let a person talk long enough, they'll show you exactly who they are. When someone shows you who they are, you have to believe them. For whatever reason, we have a lot of people in this country that still refuse to believe that the Democrat Party, you know what I'm saying, has their best interests at heart. They believe it. They still believe it. And they refuse to believe that, hey, the Democrats don't care about you. And they are solely here about power, and they'll do anything that they can so they can acquire power. That's why Chuck Schumer said, hey, let's just give all, 11 plus, it could be upwards of 20 to 30 million people. Let's give them all amnesty. Let them stay here because they will be a voter block for them. So here, Nashville mayor is basically okay and condoning people doxing ICE agents. Listen to this dude. I mean, these people are just ridiculous.
Where they were already part of a public record by being in Department of Emergency Communications calls, so I don't think it puts them at additional risk, but it's also not an intention of the executive order under which those names were released.
So if it doesn't put them at additional risk, why did your office decide to remove the names?
It wasn't an intentional process. We've had primarily using local departments, we've had multiple people whose names have been there, but again, this is something new. We're reviewing it. We've obviously had some concerns from DHS about release of those names. They would still be discoverable, but that was not an intent of the executive
Do you
order.
understand the concerns of DHS when they're talking about endangering federal immigration officers by posting the names?
I understand the concerns, but it's not a process that I would characterize as doxing. It was an unintentional release of names that were already part of a public record.
So would you agree with them that releasing the names endangers them, or was it just to kind of appease
I wouldn't
HSI?
say it was an endangerment process. I would say they may have some concerns. I'm far more concerned about the overall dynamic we have about unmarked, unidentifiable, masked people whisking people into vehicles. I think that's a bigger concern.
Okay, and
yeah, Nashville has unfortunately gone fairly woke. There's a lot of people that have moved out there from the West Coast. And I'm not saying that all Californians and all folks out on the West Coast are, blue-haired liberals. But there's been a lot of them. They have fled the high taxes and overregulated state of California, and they've moved to places like Austin. They've moved to places like Nashville, and they refuse to leave their politics in California. And they've brought that same foolishness to Nashville. Now, majority of Tennessee, is red, and right now Tennessee is a red state. Nashville just happens to be a blue state or blue city, and so does Memphis. It's pretty blue as well. But man, this is ridiculous, man. ICE agents doing their jobs, and you got people like this clown condoning doxing ICE agents. They literally released a list full of names of the ICE agents, and they said it was unintentional. I don't believe them. I call cat. I call BS. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this? ICE should definitely hit back, and they should hit hard. We need to get these people up out of our country. There is a plethora of American citizens out there waiting to take these opportunities. All of these jobs, they're waiting to take these opportunities. There was a meat packing plant out there in Nebraska. They had a raid. A large majority of people, they were removed, and they had thousands of applications within a day. They had thousands of applications of Americans applying for these opportunities. So I don't want to hear that Americans got their nose in the air and they're too good for these positions, and the illegal immigrants, they got to come over here because they're doing the jobs that the American citizens don't want to do. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Won't you come out and tell us hey, we need these people because they are the future of our party as far as the voting bloc go. They are going to be the future base, and that's why we need them. Why won't they come out and just be honest? Seriously, why won't they come out and be honest and tell you what they really think? The fact that the Ramirez lady, illegal immigrant, and married to an illegal immigrant, comes from a family of illegal immigrants, and this individual is a sitting congresswoman. That makes absolutely no sense. None. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family, or you can buy your man a coffee if you'd like to support the channel financially. Appreciate you guys. Join us tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. We do this Monday through Friday. If it's your first time, let me know in the chat so we can show you some love and properly welcome you to the live show and to the ARP family. Keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibe so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp, they